These are things I wish somebody had told me before I finished my PhD, and today I'm going to share them with you. Hey there, I'm Dr. Gertrude Nontren. On this channel, I create videos around slaying grad school and navigating the career market after the fact. And when I finished my PhD, I was very blessed to have landed a postdoc that I moved into almost immediately. But then the postdoc ended when funding ran out, and because funding ran out, I was out of a job. Thankfully, I had been freelance writing, and so I started my own business and eventually landed my science writing role. But there was a time in between there where, I will be honest with you, I felt a little worthless. I felt like my PhD didn't matter. I felt so many feelings. I wanted to make this video because I know a lot of PhDs go through this, and I want to assure you and encourage you and motivate you that all is not lost, right? All is not lost. So the first thing I wish somebody had told me and reinforced to me before I finished my PhD, or even after my PhD, was the fact that you actually went into a PhD program. You got into a PhD program. You studied something for a long time. You focus on a subject that you are the expert on in the entire world. And that is pretty special. It is special, and you did not waste your time. I want you to understand that there was a time in my life where I felt maybe getting a PhD was a waste of time. I've had people say getting a PhD is a waste of time. But having been through the experience, having been, one of the things that a PhD does is that you focus on one thing for a really long time and you take it from beginning to completion, right? And doing that is a very valuable skill. So many of us don't realize that it's a valuable skill, but it's an incredibly valuable skill. And if you also think of the fact that you actually broke ground, you actually advanced a subject and contributed knowledge to your field, that is encouraging. That is amazing. And I wish somebody had reinforced that to me. The next thing I wish somebody had told me when I was finishing my PhD was that as a PhD holder, you deserve to be well compensated. It's okay to want money. It's okay to want to be well paid as a PhD. I've done a few videos on this channel, and especially this video here, I'm going to leave it up in the cards, where I talk about why I left academia. And I've had a lot of comments, a lot of conversation around that, and people sharing the fact that sometimes academia is not necessarily for the poor, because you could easily, not that it's complete, like you cannot make your fortunes in academia, but in most instances, it's not very well compensated, and especially for how long we've stayed in school, for how much work we've put in. I believe that PhDs deserve to be very well compensated. I hope this video will encourage you so that you never feel like an imposter or like a traitor to the academic system just because you want to go out there and use your skills either to land a position, a job that pays very well, or even to start a business that pays off in bucket loads of money. It's okay to want to be well compensated as a PhD. This one, you've heard me say it over and over again. I wish somebody had reinforced the fact that there are jobs outside of academia, and even though they seem like they are hard to break into, and actually sometimes they are, right? Because you essentially, when you're trying to get a job outside of academia, you have to prove to companies, you have to prove to organizations that you are translating the skills that you obtained in your PhD throughout, or not even just in your PhD, throughout your schooling, right? You're taking all those skills and all those years of education and practicing those skills, and you want to translate it into that particular industry. It can be hard to convince people of this when you don't have hard experience to show them. I get that. But I want you to rest assured and be comforted in the fact that there are positions outside of academia that value your skills very, very much, right? I've said on this channel before that PhDs, we are the bosses of learning. We are the bosses of learning. We can learn anything, right? Which means that you are adaptable, which means that you are a quick learner, which means that you are somebody that can get into a position and based on years of not just your subject area, but years of essentially combining multiple skills like data analysis, like research, like being able to analyze, information, being able to see trends. All of that are very, very special skills that are usable outside of academia. And something, when I was coming out of my PhD, I thought that because my degree was in microbiology and immunology, that was all I was going to be able to do. I can only get a job in microbiology. I can only get a job in immunology, when in reality, there were so many ways in which I could translate my skills. So that's what I wanted to tell you. I want you to be motivated and encouraged in the fact that your skills are valuable. Yes, there are positions outside of academia. And yes, the fact that you spent all these years on a subject area, being a pioneer in a field that hadn't been studied yet, on a tiny subject in your wide field of study, that you pioneered that and you generated original research for that, is special. It is amazing. And you should be happy about that.